Alright, so this video, I'm not gonna lie, I've been trying to spend the past hour making it, and I don't like any of the takes I've made, so I'm... once in a while I decide, alright, we're just going to continue talking and not hit the stop button, and I'm sorry if I pause in the middle, but there's just so much to go over here. And if you're interested in all the background behind the scenes stuff of how the channel works and my current situation, feel free to keep watching. If you're not, A-okay, there's going to be another video today, if not maybe even a fourth, but that's determinant on if I release this on the 4th or 5th, but we'll see how that goes. Regardless, hi everyone, Liru here. Lot has been going on, and there's I already mentioned a lot to talk about, so we'll be going over YouTube, general content stuff, a few changes, and then a lot on the IRL front, and even some new content that I'm going to be getting into. But it probably won't be this month, it'll be next month because of my current situation. So, with all of that said, let's talk about what's been going on with the past month and how we're moving forward this month on the IRL front. So, yesterday, on the 3rd, Bloodwing and I closed on our townhouse. We have the keys. Mortgage paperwork went through. Everything's good. And we're not going to start making those payments till around August, which is great. It gives us some time to, move in and get situated. But with that, this month is going to be focused on, getting furniture move in, getting some of that furniture built. For example, my new office desk is, it's a pretty sturdy one from Office Depot, but I've got to make that in the basement. There's a few other internal projects I want to work on that might turn into some content, such as I want to build a nice indoor garden for myself, because I haven't really shown it over the past 5 years of this channel, but I love to cook, I love to garden, and I just never made content out of it, but I might going forward, or at least have it in the background while I stream or something. But with me having a larger space, I can set up my green screen, I can set up a space for VR. I reached out to Zorn the Bear. I'm gonna go work with him again. For those of you who don't know, he's a big VR guy now, but I know him because he used to do some work within the 700th Cadian, which was one of, if not the largest group I ever worked for, and we did like 80 or 90 person Warhammer 40k ops back in the day, which was pretty cool. So, I've got that contact to reach out to. Maybe some VR Phasmophobia stuff with Dante too. But again, it's all up in the air because this month is going to be focused on just, doing the move-in. So, technically, this video is, what did I say in a previous take? This one is monument. No, it's, god damn it, I forget the term, but this is the last video I'll be doing in my cramped little office. So, next video, I'll probably put my face cam on, put the balaclava across my face, and, just speak to you directly, as, footage plays in the background or something. I'll think of something creative with that. But, oh gosh, and I also have all this unboxing stuff that actually I've done quite a bit. I just need to send the footage to Barbarian. I just always forget, because there's so many other things I gotta do. But regardless, we're slowly getting through all of it. But with moving into a place, I now have a lot of financial responsibilities that I'll have to keep up with, such as mortgage payments, food, utilities, basically being an adult. And I'm happy to say that despite how YouTube's been kicking me in the balls, I think I'll be able to just keep working on all this full time without having to take anything on the side. Outside of what I do already, that statement, I will, there's something, a little asterisk I gotta put next to that. We'll talk about that in this video. But it also is going to create a lot of cool opportunities for Arma content itself, and we'll see how all of that goes. But regardless, I'm just happy to say that I'm not going anywhere. We're going to keep going with everything here. And thanks to the past 3 or 4 months I've been spending with a few other content creators, working on a bunch of YouTube algorithm tests and whatnot, which I will also say I've been very hush-hush about, because we didn't know if, openly talking about it was a good idea. But now that that whole project's kind of wrapping up for various reasons across everyone that was working on it, we all agreed that we can start talking about it. And actually, in a few days, expect a video talking about various YouTube exploits. to come out. Some of it you might already know from channels like Spiffing Brit, but some of it is pretty fresh, and it also goes into some analysis and some pros and cons of doing things a certain way, but based off of 7 different YouTube channels working across this at various different sizes, from as low as I think 15,000 subs to as high as, what was he? Gosh, at the time we started around 900k, but he's actually gone to like 1.1 million, which is great for him. But we were able to get a large pool of data, and after analyzing that data, we think that, well, actually, we had to debate this a lot, but a lot of people agreed with me that we're going to release all of it, just in the form of the analysis we got, not the data itself, because it also might lead to some other analytics down the road that some people would want, and then at that point we're not going to release that data because that'll give the other people that want to keep it to themselves the competitive advantage that they wanted in the first place. But I want to release it because there is a massive pitfall that you can fall into in YouTube that I am in, and I do not wish it on the world for anyone else because it literally drives you fucking bonkers. But we'll get into that in that one video. But that's also why my channel kind of has, you know, kind of mellowed out. I don't know what the term is, but, you know, just the growth is slow. But it's still sustainable for what I want to do if I push a few things, and we'll, again, get into that. But regardless, because of that, just to give some background, YouTube growth is followed by Twitch growth, which is followed by, you know, Patreon growth or community growth, because YouTube is the #1 way, I would say, to kind of get your name out there. And that's not going to change anytime soon, just because of the platforms that are out there and what's happened in the past with other platforms that try to compete. But because of this, I have to really focus on trying to find another way to get revenue, because I will say YouTube, Twitch, Patreon are able to make ends meet, but I want to have a backup just in case something falls through, because in the past stuff has fallen through. I got banned off of Twitch for a month and lost, at the time, half of my income, which thankfully a lot of people were able to come to the rescue for that, because I wasn't expecting something like that to happen. But now I have all these safeguards in place to help prevent things like that from happening, but you never know. I mean, YouTube could have another adpocalypse, for fuck's sake, but who knows at that point. So one of the things I've been really pushing over the past few months, but I've been pioneering for the past 8 or 9 months, is and this is probably going to get some flack on me because I haven't publicly talked about it yet, and it violates some EULA stuff unless I word it a proper way, but I'm just going to be straight with you guys. Some paid work involving Zeus stuff. So people have reached out to me and asked me, hey, what can I do to get you to Zeus for my community? And, you know, I work with them in DMs, and it's actually been really fun to work with all these communities, because I've realized that, you know, Zeusing is fun in itself because you get to build whatever you want, make whatever you want, you know, in the mission file, and then, you know, Zeus it as is. But as someone that has been doing that for years, one of the biggest struggles I now have is deciding what I want to do, because there's a lot of stuff I've already done, and yes, there's plenty of stuff I can get into that I haven't even touched, but, you know, some people that just say, hey, we want this, you know, one scenario to, you know, be like a realism Middle Eastern thing. I've done plenty of those, but, you know, they want me to make everything there. What's nice about these gigs is that they'll come in, they'll tell me exactly what they want. I've worked out a system where they give me, like, reference footage, so I see, like, how they play, I see their ace settings, I see all this stuff, and I'm able to, like, custom tailor something for them, which, so far, everyone that I've made something for has told me that they absolutely loved it. And it's also been really cool to see how a lot of different communities operate, because I've seen things that I never thought were possible, with Arma 3 scale, based off of, you know, just seeing them in other places and seeing them completely fall apart. And it's just been really cool to see these aspects of Arma 3 that I just have never seen anywhere else, and it's pretty fun. But I'll be pushing that a lot more, so, you know, if you know someone that needs a Zeus and has some money, wink. But otherwise, this also means that I am not doing any more pro bono work with the exception of already existing gigs that are out there. I won't name them because I don't want people to make a chart of, what I do and what I don't do, but some of them I just do for the sake of, I have great relationships with these people, and then of course I'll always be Zeusing for TSB because that's my, flagship community, and that's also my place where I can, just make whatever the fuck I want. Speaking of which, we're working on some Minecraft stuff for them. I'm working on some Aftermath stuff for them, which is the Fallout mod. And then there's some other cool things like Wacky Races, which I need to finish the development for and release that. I'm just trying to find a Saturday to do it because my community wants to do it on a Saturday, but Saturdays right now are really tough for me because Saturdays are my off day that I'm dedicating to working on the townhouse. So I'm just trying to juggle all these balls in the air, but it's just, I'm trying to, at this point, give myself enough time so I'm not a complete workaholic like my father is, and because I don't want to become him. But I will need some time for myself because there's some other stuff I want to get into, and we might make content out of that, but I also need to make sure I put enough time into work that I am making enough money so I can afford the roof over my head, and that's just been the whole complicated thing. Another thing that might go on is with our MCO framework that's been going on, which, by the way, that's been really, really fun to work with. Really just with balancing the server right now to make sure it can handle everything, and then balancing my time to get all this documentation written and all these communities settled. It's been a blast working with everyone at every step of the way. And I might be able to release, find a way to monetize MCOs through Patreon if they want to go to a 2-week schedule instead of a 3-week schedule, but that's all very TBA, and we'll probably talk about it more in the next video because I'm still pooling opinions and setting up all the framework as is, because even it still needs more work is what I'm trying to say before I'd be comfortable trying to monetize a system like that. And what I think I just said doesn't reflect accurately what I mean to do with it, but it's, again, just something I'm thinking about because, again, the number one thing I've been thinking about these days is how to maximize my personal revenues with the amount of work I do, just the end, because I have these financial responsibilities now, and it's just something that every YouTuber that, wants to take the full-time step while they are, under all their own personal financial responsibilities has to go over. So I'm just airing out all my stuff in the open because I feel comfortable with you guys, because without you, we would not be here having this conversation in the first place. So I feel like I do owe you that much to anyone who does bother watching these videos. But regardless, that's all of what's up in the air right now. So I've got a few new gigs lined up, and I am really excited for some of them because it's either people I've worked with before or new people that are working with some really cool new mods, or, who the heck knows at that point. I just know that I might get a little bit of flack, but I'm monitoring the channels that do control that, and we'll see what happens, but I don't know anymore. Regardless, in terms of Arma 3 content, we still have a lot coming out. I know people have been a little mad at me because recently, for the main channel, I haven't been linking where highlights come from, and I have been a little slow on uploading campaigns that people really like Isla Duala, the horror one we're doing with the 506th, or the Namalsk Nightmare campaign. To explain both of those real quick, Namalsk Nightmare has been slow simply because I haven't been able to find the times to run it, because my Sundays were dedicated to some loan stuff, because our... okay, side note about the mortgage company we use. Holy crap, they were slow to get back to us at times. Even while I had my week off last week for vacation, they still tracked us down and had us sign a bunch of documents, and we had no access to printers. It was a pain in the ass. And there were some dates back on Sundays, which, normally I'd reserve for operations, that instead I had to, do one thing and then run because I had to go get other stuff done. So that was annoying. And that all had to be handled, but, at least we're past that step now. So Sundays will return back to normal, and we'll see Namalsk run, not this Sunday because it's an MCO day, but the following one. That'll be the third and final mission of the trilogy. As for Isla Duala, I just have been slow to upload those. We just ran the fourth one yesterday, which was Wednesday. And I've already actually processed that one, and it's on YouTube right now. It just hasn't been, released to the public yet. So I'm going to see where I have the third phase, and probably get those released within 3 or 4 days of each other to get those going to you. But what I'm trying to do now with this month is, in the background, catch back up on where I wanted to be for my backlog, because the whole YouTube analytics stuff took up a little more time than I wanted to over the past 2 months. And again, focusing on the whole house buying process. 2 months ago, we were searching for a home. This past month, we were settling on the home, and now, future month, we're gonna move into the home. So it's a very long process. I never would have expected to take this long, but here we are. Regardless, just give me some time, and I will get back on track with that content. But thankfully for VODs, we're all caught up with. Those are just a little slow to upload sometimes because YouTube gets them stuck in processing hell, which means that the YouTube is on, the video is on YouTube, but YouTube is really slow to quote-unquote process it, and you can't release a video that's being processed. And then if there's 2 layers of processing for videos, the first just gets it processed to 360p, and then the second layer of processing gives it all of the the 1080, 720p. Those I forget the term, but basically that's why some videos that I release get stuck in 360p, which is shitty quality. Because YouTube just hasn't finished the processing of it yet, which is why some of the VODs have been a little slow to release, and that's why some VODs I'm not releasing in the order of when they were made, because some just get stuck in processing. But I am trying to shoot for getting all the VODs out within 48 hours, but some VODs, for whatever reason, just need more than 48 hours to process, so I do apologize for that. But with all the streaming we've been doing since I've gotten back, especially with mission development, I think there's been plenty on the VODs channel to work with. And then, of course, the Shenanigans channel, which is now the PvP channel, I have been really good at making sure there's been at least 2 videos to watch, be it 2 highlight videos or a highlight video and an operation video. So I hope you guys have been enjoying that. And that channel's actually been showing some really nice growth of its own. And it's caught in the same cycle as my main channel with its analytics. So again, we'll have another video releasing in a few days talking about that. Other notes, unboxing videos will start resuming on, I want to say, a weekly or bi-weekly creation schedule to catch up a little bit, and then probably a every 3 weeks to 4 weeks schedule. I just got to get the footage to Barb, but I don't know where I put the original footage. I think I moved it to a folder before vacation. I'm just trying to remember where it went, but we'll get that processed. I don't want to say ASAP because I'm trying to focus on a few other things right now, but again, now that we signed the final stuff for the house yesterday, I can start working on everything else and relax a little bit. But otherwise, with that out of the way, let's do a simple week to week breakdown. Actually, no, every day of the week breakdown, starting with Sunday to Saturday, and I want to tell you guys what we'll be doing this week for the channel. So Sunday is dedicated to the public ops, and then the T3 ops, in that case being the Namalsk horror thing. But every 3 Sundays we'll be doing an MCO with anywhere from 80 to 100 players across various different concepts. The upcoming MCO this Sunday is World War II Germans versus Soviets. Players are the Germans. And the next 2 MCOs will be Clone Wars and Warhammer 40k Sisters of Battle. And then the MCO after that is still TBD. We're waiting on some poll results from the players of MCOs and getting through with all of that. But then Sunday nights are probably going to be reserved for, any other gigs that people might commission me for. But regardless with that, Monday we will still be doing 2 ops within TSB. The first op being a major op, the second op being a minor op. What I mean by that is the major op is 2 hours, the minor op is 1 hour. This upcoming Monday will be Fallout for the major op, and then the minor op will be a small-scale Minecraft op set in a World War II setting just to test stuff. Such as block count and, just how the server's capable of handling a large amount of assets, because as you can see in the video I'm showing you, we're building a lot of interesting stuff with that. So I think that's it in terms of Mondays. There's nothing else I can think of that I use Mondays for in terms of streaming content. By the way, all these days could potentially have something extra added to them, or just feature a bunch of mission development. Tuesdays, I'm taking a break from House Aiden. I will probably continue that in mid-June, and I will finish out the campaign, and then I'm probably going to be finished with that community, just because the mod set's very limited, and I can't recover from the burnout from just putting all of that effort into that project, which had that open world Mandalorian thing, and then the balance getting completely scuffed because of those armor values. It's a morale thing for myself personally, and I just can't get around it. So we'll probably see that slot get wrapped up, and then maybe some more late night Tuesday playing stuff. But I also know I have a mission to run next Tuesday for a buddy of mine who has really wanted me to run this for the past few weeks, but I keep, how do I say it? Just stuff keeps coming up when I have the time to run it, and it might still be that way till the house is finally moved into, but, just because of IRL situations and whatnot. But I have a time slot in TSB scheduled for next Tuesday night to run it, so that should be good. But otherwise, I think that's it for Tuesday. Maybe an on-the-ground mission on Tuesdays, too, because I need to get back into playing some more on-the-ground stuff to make sure I'm not getting too rusty. Wednesdays are going to be dedicated to either a TSB mission or a 506 Zeus mission. If we're doing the TSB mission, then we will be doing the 506 Zeus mission on the ground, and that should be pretty fun. Wednesdays, I might also do some SCP stuff on the ground. We've been seeing some of that recently as well. Some people left TSB to form a small subgroup, and, I chill with them, because some of them are my friends, but they also have some pretty fun stuff to run. Otherwise, yeah, I think that's it for Wednesday. Thursdays are still going to be the OFCRA, then Paw Patrol, then TMTM at night day. Haven't been doing a lot of TMTM ops recently because they've been doing large changes to their mod sets, and also because I've been so busy, I just haven't been able to keep myself awake or in the mood for TMTM, but I know they're finalizing their mod set, or have already finalized the mod set at this point, so I want to get back into working with them. But I know yesterday or last Thursday, depending on when I release this video, I just was not in the mood after that Paw Patrol op, because Paw Patrol broke their frickin' accuracy setting on their server, and the AI were just fucking Terminators, which I had not seen AI be that Terminator-y ever since I saw footage from, 2013, 2014 Arma 3, in which, vanilla CSAT would just deck you from 200 meters away with a 2-tap. That's literally what it was in that last Paw Patrol mission. I felt so bad, but there was nothing I could do to fix it, because it was set server-side in a setting I could not touch, regardless of how I set the accuracy coefficient. So, yeah, c'est la vie, right? Otherwise, Friday will still be dedicated to FNF. All of this month, by the way, will be World War II for FNF, which I think is going to be really, really cool. And then after that, I am debating whether or not I'll keep doing both days of FNF. It's really going to depend on what else I might do, and how much upkeep I need to put on the Shenanigans channel, and if I need to give myself more time for other things on that Friday. So that's a little up in the air right now, but I am going to cover every single FNF session for this month, because I think large-scale World War II PvP is going to be pretty dope. Regardless, Saturday is still going to be my open day, but I'm also reserving that day for any paid gigs. Maybe some stuff with the 700th here and there, just because why not? You know, if I'm in the mood to do some 40k stuff, especially around when we're doing the Sisters of Battle MCO, I might go into the 700th and do some stuff as well. But otherwise, that's the general schedule going in. I'm trying to think what else here. Honestly, really the next 2 weeks is also going to be focusing on just doing a lot of streaming in general, except for, you know, 1 or 2 days for me to catch up with editing footage. Simply to recover from the week I took off. Because even if you take a week off, I know Twitch analytics kind of hit you. And then YouTube analytics, it's just something about not logging in on YouTube on, like, if you do it through the app, not even if you do it through the app, actually, just not logging into YouTube for a week just scuffs your analytics for some reason. And we'll get into that with that video I was talking about. But otherwise, I think that's really it for the analytics. So I apologize if this was a little more freeform, not really too structured. Just as a reminder, on Patreon, I release publicly every week, you know, just some things that are going on with the channel and, you know, trying to keep up with everything in that sense. And then this video kind of serves as just a review of everything that happened last month and what we're going to be going into with this month and, you know, talk about any major things that are coming out. But otherwise, that's that. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to ask either in the YouTube comments or just DM me on Discord. I have an open door policy on Discord where anyone can reach out and talk to me about anything. I really don't care. I can also get quite lonely, Lamau. But, I don't know. People apparently have been messaging my admins in TSB with things concerning my channel instead of me directly. So I'm going to try to stomp that out because it was funny the first few times, but after the 10th, in the course of a few months, it was kind of like a what the heck. But regardless, I think that's everything that I want to comfortably talk about right now. So, yeah. Really, it's just a focus for this month. Because, again, the past few months I've been focusing on just YouTube analytical, algorithmic bullshit and but finding the townhouse and settling on the townhouse now. Because we've already set up all the furniture and just a few days for, you know, getting everything moved in, I can focus on, you know, just min-to-maxing my revenue and making sure everything is comfortable. And I also want to state for the record, I'm not trying to completely maximize my revenue through the roof. There is a certain point where I will just stop caring, and maybe then that'll lead to more pro bono work or, you know, other stuff. But again, it's just a ratio of, how would I say it? I think the ratio was 1.25 times what I need to make every month. So let's say hypothetically, my expenses are 4K a month, then I'd want to make 5K for that month. Simply because if something falls through that month, I'm still covered, and I don't have to, you know, cry about it. But otherwise, yeah, it should be good. So thank you so much for listening, if indeed you still are. Go operate operationally, and I will see you in the next video.